guys, Dave the Drummer here, bringing to you a brand new episode of the Talking Drum. Now, we're going to try something a little different here. The format's going to change just a little bit on this episode. So we've got, first off, I want to introduce the awesome, the talented Zack Olsen, who will be joining us for this interview. And we talk about how he got to Santa Cruz, what he's up to, what kind of gear he uses. It's a really good time. We have a really good discussion back a couple of months ago, and so I'm very happy to bring that footage to you. He's also brought a clip of him getting down with his band, Santa Cruz's very own Slow Gherkin. After that, we're going to have Rick Tahira explain about the Santa Cruz Drum Club, the origin, the beginnings of it, what kind of role it serves in the Santa Cruz music community. So without further ado, I'm going to let Zack and myself take it away.
Zack Olsen.
Hello.
So Zack, why don't you tell the folks about yourself?
My name is Zack. I live here in Santa Cruz. I've been here since, I think, '89. And I've been playing drums for maybe 27 years, something like that. Yeah, I live in SoCal with my wife and my 2 kids and love it here. And before this, I was in a different place. Like every year, I was in a different spot. So I went to, I think, 26 different schools growing up.
Wow.
So I was always the new kid.
Right.
Always had to do a lot of fighting to, be that new kid.
Right,
I was
right,
different than other kids, I guess. But once I found music, I just latched on.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about the people, the leaks to people in this town because it's such a small town. Our last guest was actually one of the first drum teachers of Mr. Olsen upon his arrival here in Santa Cruz. And so maybe you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. Well, actually, it started in 6th grade. I got really into music towards the end of 6th grade. And some buddies down the street, they were a year older. I thought they were the coolest thing. They had this punk rock band called the Rejects.
Right.
And actually, all 3 guys that were in that band moved to Santa Cruz because they're surfers.
Right.
So this was in Redwood City.
Right.
So they all live here now, which is hilarious because we all, came to the same spot.
Right.
But I bought a drum set for $50,
Right.
which was a trash can lid, a Stewart 20-inch kick drum, and I forget what the snare drum was. I think it was different, but I really wanted to play, but I had no idea. So when I moved to Seattle, I took some lessons from this guy, and he was having me popping my wrists, counting to 4. And the next lesson, I was counting to 4, popping my wrists, counting to 4, and I was just like sick of it. I wanted to play punk rock. I knew it didn't have to be very good.
Right.
I just wanted to play music. And he was like, "You're not ready, kid. Sit down. Try to play a beat."
Right.
So he had me sit down at this kit, and I don't know how to play a beat.
Right.
So he's like, "Look, you're not ready." So so we had a few more lessons. Then I just gave my drum set away because I was so frustrated.
Right.
So then I finished up school up there. Came down here for high school because my mom lived down here, and I was into skateboarding. And I was like, it's Santa Cruz. I got to go to Santa Cruz.
Right.
So halfway through high school, I started getting. I was still really into music. Went to tons of shows. But about halfway through, like 16, 17, I started taking lessons with Brick Walker.
Right.
And he was the one to first show me, like, all right, you put your foot here, you put your hand here, and you make a beat.
Right.
And so for me, since it was hard for me to hear that, it was to have somebody show me, physically watch them, and then and also be able to write it out and read it.
Right.
After a while, I started understanding how it sounded.
Right.
So for me, like Rick really helped me understand the fundamentals and get me rolling.
Right on.
So I was a pretty quick study though. Like if I could watch somebody, I could kind of figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. So he really. What I use, I love cymbals.
Right.
So I have a lot of cymbals.
Right.
But recently I hooked up with Istanbul Mehmet cymbals.
Right.
And so I've been, I was blown away with their stuff at the NAMM show this year.
Right.
And it just happened, my friend was across the street,
Right.
from them in the hall. And they, had talked. And so we were geeking out on cymbals and like playing them all and just loving them. And so, Carl, the artist rep, was like, hey, what do you do? And we talked. And, because I teach so much and I play so much, it seemed like a good fit. They wanted to up their educational program.
Right.
So, anyways, I play Istanbul Mehmet cymbals. I have mostly Craviotto drums.
Right.
I have some Ludwigs and
Shout out to
some.
Craviotto.
Yeah, definitely. Love that man. Miss Johnny. And I have some Gretsch. But yeah, mostly play my Cravies. Other gear, as far as hardware and stuff, whatever, if it works.
Right.
Yeah. And what
What do
other
you
stuff?
got like tom size wise? Do you talk about like what's a more common setup for your toms?
Yeah, well, I really like minimal setups.
Okay.
I love the 4-piece drum set.
Okay.
So I love a 12-inch, a 14.
Right.
I usually play an 18 or a 20, depending on the situation. And then I have a lot of different snares I can choose from. But the 5.5 by 14 is my go-to.
That's pretty
but
much
I'm,
mine too.
Yeah, I mean, I have, but as far as toms, I have a 10, an 11, a 12, a 13, a 14, a 15, and a 16. And then, yeah, I have all the flavors. So, it just depends on the gig.
Yeah.
And then I have about 7 snare drums.
Right.
And then 2 bass drums. I might get a bigger one coming up too. But, yeah, so for me, it just depends on where I'm playing, who I'm playing with. Because these days I'm a hired gun, so I just go play with everybody, and so lots of different styles of music, and I just have to kind of guess, based on my experience, what I'm going to be playing. But mostly a 4-piece, unless if I'm playing a musical show that, or like because I play with Cabrillo Stage, we do a lot of musicals, and so a lot of times I'll need more stuff. If it's a rock gig or a gig that I feel like I need a little bit more, some other tones and sounds, I'll bring more stuff.
Right.
But basically 4 or 5-piece kit, maybe 2 floors, 1 rack, or 2 up. It just depends. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing to be here. We're Slow Burger from Santa Cruz.
The story goes that a good friend of mine who is a local drum teacher, Dave Manili, he relocated back to Santa Cruz from being in Southern California. He was part of a drum club in Southern California called the Redondo Beach Drum Club, which were all basically pro drummers. I mean, I'm not going to name drop who was in it, but you can imagine they were all pros.
Yeah.
They bought, sold, traded, got together like every few months, and I thought that would be a really great concept to have in Santa Cruz, because we've got so many talented musicians, so many talented drummers.
That's true. We do.
And a lot of those guys do a lot of trading and selling amongst the community here. So Dave and I thought up the idea, and then I started to network out with Stretch and another gentleman who is a drum dealer, Brent Adams.
Oh yeah, I know Brent. I got my first set of hi-hats.
There you go,
Brent. Yeah,
Brent.
I got a whole bunch
Famous.
of hardware from Brent.
Yeah.
Brent's over in the hills, and he's an awesome guy. I've like I said, about my first set of cymbals from him, and I've known him for about like 5 years now. So I mean, Brent's got a lot of ties.
He's
to
a
lot of
legend.
them.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And then also we networked out with Big Dave Patrick.
Yes, I know Dave. I got my Rototoms from Dave Patrick.
There you go. There you go. So so we started out with about 4 or 5 guys. Also, I wanted to mention there's another gentleman. His name is Larry Archer, who does vintage restorations. And so he was also one of the last guys to kind of get together and network out with us.
Right.
We started to get together about 1.5 years ago, trading and buying amongst ourselves. And after a few months of doing that, I was thinking that we should give back to the community and the drumming community in Santa Cruz. And so we decided to form a Facebook group, which we have on Facebook. That's sort of our announcement board of items for sale and things of interest, gigs that are happening, kind of just a basic message board for drummers in Santa Cruz and also beyond.
Right.
The idea evolved into giving back to the community in the way of putting on a educational drum clinic. Right. Santa Cruz Drum Club. Check us out on Facebook. We've got a Facebook group page. Please go ahead and send in your member requests, and we'll get you signed up part of the group, and you can get filled in on what we're up to. Feel free to message us and post things if you've got a gig in town, if you need some help, if you needed some help with equipment. It's basically a great message board. Also, help support us and see Stretch. Go down to Starving Musician, their new location on Pacific Avenue, which is totally cool.
I love it. It's a great location now.
Yeah, it's real nice. And go on in, support us, buy a t-shirt. And again, that money goes to help support doing these clinics.
Drop the link for your band.
Yeah, my rockabilly band, the Haywoods. We've got a Facebook page, and it's just if you just look up the Haywoods, you'll find us there. You can get updated on some videos that we have of some shows, a little calendar of our next gigs that we'll have posted on that Facebook group page as well too.
Now, do you guys have any videos on YouTube, or do you have any videos of you in action on YouTube?
We have some fans that have posted things on YouTube. They're not videos of us playing live. They're basically just snippets of songs that they've pulled off of our CDs and albums and stuff, and just threw up. There are some YouTube sound videos, if you will.
Yeah,
on YouTube right now.
Is there a more accessible way to get a hold of you guys? Does your band have a Bandcamp or have any stuff how can they easily access your music?
You can access us and message us through Facebook, Facebook Messenger. You can also email me personally. Email address is just my name, so it's Rick, R-I-C-K, Tahira @hotmail.com, or you can just give me a call, 831-588-1604.
First one that gives a number.
There you go.
We should give him a prize for that.
All right. Hey, Rick, thank you so much for coming on and interviewing. Awesome group the Santa Cruz Drum Club is. I'm very proud to be a part of it, very proud to have them as a sponsor for the show. We managed to get in a clip of Rick playing with the Haywoods with a special guest. The name slips off the tongue, but I'm sure I'll have it on there at the bottom because I like to list those things just to be just to be considerate of others. So anyways, that is another episode of The Talking Drum wrapped up. Episode 6. I think that's right. Episode 6. So I want to thank all my guests. I want to thank Zack Olsen. I want to thank Rick Tahira. I want to thank East Cliff Brewery. Okay. I want to thank Santa Cruz Drum Club. I want to thank JVQAV. Thank you so much for all your help, Jaron. I want to give a shout out to all the sponsors that Zack Olsen mentioned that he is working with now. They will be at the bottom of the screen with a link to their website so you can check them out as well. And so I want to just give a quick plugs for my stuff as well. Newest songs and clips of songs that I've posted up on my SoundCloud. That's what I use the most. Really dig that format. It's super awesome. If you look up Dave El Baterista on Bandcamp, you will find me. You will find my album Amigos that I worked with some of my musical compadres over the last couple of years on. Been a great honor to put out that album. It's a short 3-track EP, but it's from the heart. It's all original music. I'm really proud of it. I also want to give a shout out to my Facebook page. Facebook.com/Dave the Drummer 831. I also want to make sure that you guys know that I have a official website. It is pudasuhero.wixsite.com/Dave the Drummer 831. I think I got that one right. Anyways, we will be back with a very special episode to finish off the season. It is going to be a surprise as to what the concept is. Maybe I've told some of you, but not all of you know. Take care. We'll see you next time.
6 days on the road, man, I'm gonna make it home in the